Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and we are here to celebrate Bilbo Baggins' 111th birthday! But actually, this is going to be the third age mod for Medieval 2, and this is not going to be a birthday celebration, quite the opposite. It's going to be a celebration of death. We're going to be witnessing the Scouring of the Shire, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be defending as the army, which does feature some Hobbit forces, so let's go ahead and show my deployment because this is going to be getting going very quickly. So I am in command of a portion of Hobbiton. You'll notice that it is very, very cool in terms of the map itself. Has these little Hobbit holes built into it. It has a lot of elements from the movie and the book. This is straight pulled out of the movie itself, the bridge leading to the inn and all that. So overall, really great stuff. We can get drawn into the aesthetics all we could. But let's get into the combat. So I'm holding the high ground here. What do I have? On this flank is going to be an assortment of merchant militia, kind of spread out, just to hold the high ground. In the center of this cluster is going to be some Hobbit archers, so rallying together to face off against the armies of Isengard. They're approaching from one position. In the center here I have two of these Greenway guards, which are some spearmen. This is going to be this main wing. Down in this central valley, I have some mounted battle-ready Dunedain. These are extremely expensive cavalry, very, very good units. They're going to be holding down this center. Further towards my capture point, right in the middle, I have these battle-ready Dunedain, but foot troops. Again, very veteran guys. And two more of these, so these guys are my emergency response, and my general here kind of sitting ready. Down here, basically, I have a couple units hidden away in the woods. It's my other unit of hobbits. I want to keep them out of combat for the time being, allow them to get an ambush on if they could. So, hobbitry in arms. Really cool to see those guys represented in the battlefield. And then up on this hill, which holds down this flank, what I have deployed is a bunch of these stakes here with my Dunedain Rangers. Two of those units, and then some of these Breland militia spearmen arming the front, and then some more battle-ready Dunedain. So what are we all, defending against? Well, you have one force here, which is going to be the Orcs of Gundabad, which have over here the Snow Trolls. If you haven't seen this mod before, yeah, this is representative of how awesome this mod is. Anyways, so they have some Snow Trolls, very heavy infantry, hard to kill. Some Orc Halberdiers up through the front, catapults, whole bunch of Snag Archers, and backing up some infantry on that flank. So they're going to be rushing that hill. In the back, they have two of these Warg Riders, heavy cav. They look beautiful, so they're ready to swarm up through the Shire and tear my guys apart. And over there, you have a mix of Isengard, Uruk-hai Raiders. We're going to cover this really quickly and then get back to the action. Sorry for the delay. Crossbowmen in the front, just overall representative of the Uruk-hai. They look beautiful. Then you have some Raiders, which are heavy infantry, but not as good as some of the more, core units like the Uruk-hai infantry. And this wouldn't be Isengard if it weren't for these berserkers. They come in units of 57, and these guys have, I believe, 2 HP points, are extremely deadly and devastating. So that is going to be it. They also have a catapult, so the Shire is going to be under attack from both flanks. Let's go ahead and press play because this is going to be getting underway. The first of the assaults are going to be taking place over here. My Dunedain Rangers are going to start getting some volleys off, and my first target is going to be these Snow Trolls, and you can see they just kind of let these arrows ping off of them. They're going to brace themselves. One of them is bloodied, and that only made them angrier. So here we go, they're going to start the charge, and so begins the battle for the Shire. So they're going to be leading this charge. The rest of the units are going to be moving up slowly but surely. Catapults are going to be raining hell on my position, and nothing is going to stop these guys. I'm putting in a lot of HP damage, but nonetheless, they're going to come charging through the hill. Grade slope is kind of slowing them down a little bit, but they are total beasts. And so here they come. The closer they get to my position, the more dangerous it's going to get for me. Watch from the position of these archers. We are unleashing into them, and nothing can stop them. I was hoping the stakes would skewer these bad boys, but they're going to charge right on through the stakes, not care about it, and just butcher my men. I do have my archers firing sideways at them, and now we're going to engage with my Breland militia. But they are just clubbing my units left, right, and center. I'm going to have to pull some of these guys back. They are definitely bloodied up, so I did nice damage, but it's going to be a tough situation. My Dunedain guys here holding firm. I'm going to pull some of my hobbits actually into action here. They're spearmen, so I figured they would come slay some trolls. We saw how the hobbits did in Moria, so let's see if they can recreate that action. But these trolls, like I said, are very hard to defeat. Meanwhile, they are just one unit holding up the entirety of my force. More action is happening in the back where they've brought some of their marauders up to the rear. Looks like I actually didn't even cover this whole additional contingent that was right over here. They're going to be charging into my guys. I'm going to try and disengage with my cav. What that means is just going to clear away for his warg riders to start to come in through here. Now all his guys are swarming through this side. While I push forward, his heavy orc halberdiers are moving forward, and they're going to be backing up the Snaga archer contingent. You can see in the distance the snow trolls continuing to go to work on my guys. So even as I'm committed here with all my units, now I'm going to get shot to pieces while I'm committed to action. The top ranks here are going to start to be overcome by these enemy forces. I had to commit some of my Dunedain guys who should be able to kill the enemy forces, but it's going to be close fought. My cav are going to try and commit around that flank, and over in the back here I'm going to send some of my units to engage with these warg riders. But somehow my general actually got killed in that action, one of the first to die, so those warg riders definitely have a buff against cavalry. My guys, merchant militia, came in but a bit too late. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, you have the Uruk-hai slowly moving forward. I've pulled back my merchant militia to be out of range, and these hobbit archers are going to be holding back an entire army, just unleashing on these Uruk-hai, and you can see they're actually pretty precise with their shots, so starting to chip away at these guys, holding back this entire force, and this is going to be holding out against their homeland here. This is not looking good for our guys. Meanwhile, the whole right flank is continuing to be enveloped. I'm holding up pretty well with these hobbits, but I don't have much else to back them up. Let's return to the main combat, where these warg riders have been committed to my Dunedain warriors. These guys have good victory chances. I've reinforced the top of the hill, so we should be chopping away. However, up through the center, his trolls have really cleared away through my guys and really choked them up. The rest of my units are starting to rout. All of that in the face of his guys, which were continuing to push forward. They've now reached my stake line, but this is where I decided to commit my battle-ready Dunedain. Like I said, very good troops, so they should be able to hold the line. I am starting to lose a bit of control of the top here. More of my units routing. I'm going to try and reclaim the heights. Over in the back, I have my cavalry that went here, and they charge into these Snaga archers. I wanted to silence them, so I'm going to be ping-ponging with my heavy cav here, charging the archers, then charging the rear of this force. I wanted to break these halberdiers to allow me to recuperate this flank here. So ping-ponging back and forth is going to allow me to get a little bit more of an advantage there. My Dunedain Rangers have pulled back a fair amount, and now they're going to be firing in close support. You can see them continuing to target the remaining trolls, and it looks like there's just, how many of these guys? Just 3 of those trolls left, but they continue to do a lot of damage. Some of this heavily armed bodyguard now being committed here, and they're just chopping through my guys, and he's just waiting around looking for more units to kill. From the backside of this hill, you have some Snaga archers still putting on the pressure. I was going to charge them with my remaining cavalry force, so we're going to put the fear of God back into them, or whatever they worship. But the rest of it continuing to just clear out whatever's happening in these woods. So this is sucking up my entire army. My Dunedain units have finished this off, and we're going to be swarming these warg riders here, getting a bit of revenge, and we're going to chop these guys down with my heavy spearmen, making it look easy. But this means that the majority of my forces here have been held back. The berserkers were actually committed to this fight. They ran past my hobbit archers, which are being tied down by the crossbowmen. I turned my hobbit archers around to try and shoot into these berserkers, because I know these guys will easily clean up my units. You can see me kind of holding a little bit, but his guys will definitely win. Victory seems certain. Only a fool could lose this battle. He still has 55 of them, so he is definitely going to be chewing through these lines. Like I said, I'm going to try and reclaim the hill, which I sort of have. I'm now going to try and wrap up the flank where his archers are. Let's go back through to where the center engagement one was. I've pulled back and rallied a lot of my forces, hobbitry and arms. My archers are going to line back up and try and suppress forces in the distance, but his guys keep pouring on through. My Dunedain guys have now turned about, and they're going to be continuing to try and suppress this force here, trying to pick apart that artillery unit that wants to get more fire on me. But yeah, they're firing with units almost directly in their back. Most of my guys on the hill are continuing to rout, and yeah, there you can see the commander saying I lost half of my men, so the Shire is in desperate straits. Some of these units here, the troll I believe is down to just 1 man left. and I can't seem to bring him down. Hobbit's still in action, but the rest of my forces here just being completely outnumbered and surrounded here. The halberdiers pushing forward. My cavalry is getting some nice strikes into the rear of this force, where my Dunedain warriors were, so we cleaned up a fair amount of men, but the combination of the Warg Riders and just overwhelming numbers broke my Dunedain heavy infantry, and is going to allow them to keep pushing through. In the distance, the troll now gets to the open ground, and this is where he's going to just keep picking off my guys. Yeah, just one of them left, and he's, perhaps exhausted, but still going to continue to attack my guys. A lot of my guys have now returned to the central victory point, which means we can rally, but we still haven't been able to take this guy down. The Hobbit's staying next to him, not sure what to do. Over in the distance here, the remainder of my flank is going down against these berserkers. Chop, chop, chop. My hobbits here still somehow holding strong. They're going to fight down to the last man. These crossbowmen are actually going to finish it up with, I think, almost a point-blank execution. And this is going to clear the way for more Uruk-hai to start pushing forward. The catapults are already in position, and a lot more units ready to devote themselves to the fight. And here comes these forces swarming through. They're now going to start to be suppressed partially by my Dunedain archers still up there. It's going to stop these guys in their tracks, and they're going to be forced to reload and fire upon me. So this flank has been lost. Here come the berserkers. Like I said, I did kind of reclaim the top with some of my Dunedain, so we're going to be holding this position, getting through his goblin trackers and Snaga archers. And then we're going to be coming back down and going to try and go for a sandwich on what remains of the forces in these woods, but a lot has been lost in the green woods of the Shire. And the troll still alive. Looks like he retreated a little bit to gather himself, but it looks like I've held somewhat of a fighting line. I've been able to hold back with my rangers here and supporting fire. Some of my warriors holding strong here. Looks like we outnumber the enemy, so we should be doing okay. It's this last troll. Really hoping to finish him off. But now, armies of Isengard coming through. The catapult actually crushing my men. It was close to killing its own unit, so I was hoping for that outcome. Now we're going to start to be suppressed. But this is such an epic fight. Here amongst the birthday celebrations, like I said, we would be witnessing death on a huge scale in the Shire itself. The crossbowmen now in and amongst the party tents. What a crazy scene. This mod is absolutely amazing. I hope to bring you guys more of these battles. And this one in particular is just super iconic. Armies of Isengard, just look at these masses of Uruk-hai here swarming over. This is the dream, essentially, that or the potential future that I believe it was Pippin witnessed when they were in the forest, and you look into Galadriel's mirror into what the future might be. But yeah, so this is some crazy stuff, and they're standing over the bodies of my men. More of them still held in the background, so the odds are not looking very much in my favor. We have, however, reclaimed a little bit of our dignity, holding the top here. My units reclaiming the high ground, so perhaps, if only we had the eagles to come in here and swoop in, help out with the victory. Gonna try and clean up some of his berserkers, but they still are at high health. Down here in the valley, like I said, where the remainder of my guys are still holding strong, I have my Greenway guards coming back, attempting to rally around my archer units. this troll refusing to die. It looks like we were actually able to force him back. He's exhausted. He scared of my guys. I think now that he lost his general, and some of my Dunedain riders are coming back. They were continuing to ping pong around, delay the action back here. Killed a lot of units in the back here, trying to disable his catapults, but this enemy rear guard actually forced my units back. So it's down to the last little cluster of men, the last hill of the free world, basically, here, holding out at the Shire. And there you go, the enemy overrunning some of the little hobbit houses. Jeez. This is so cool. Let's get some shots of them running past the hobbit homes, just taking arrows to the face. Crossbowmen right by the billowing chimneys of Bilbo's house. And now they're going to start to fan out these raiders. Holy crap, this is so scary. Ooh, and luckily some of those catapults frying their own men. That's going to soften them up for my assault here with these Dunedain. I'm going to be chopping through those guys. Still holding these berserkers back there. Kind of losing. Victory is distinct as opposed to certain. But look at all these ranks coming down here. Some of my units, yeah, down to 2 or 1. Or let's actually watch some of these hobbits try and defend their house. We're having a hard time against these heavy infantry. The rest of this force committed. And I do still have heavy cav, which is going to be excellent for hitting these units in the back. And they're tired and shaken, so perhaps now they're wavering. So I was hoping to get a chain route to get going here. But that shot was just brutal. Killed some of the last remaining defenders. So even though they kill some of their men, a lot of the times they'll also end up killing some of mine. And this just started to sadden me. The overlooking crossbowmen there, just being very scary. I did, however, break these guys with a rear charge, so I was hoping to recreate that over here with a nice charge to the rear and try and save some of my hobbits. Doesn't look like it's really going to be the case. Dunedain Ranger is seemingly having unlimited ammo. I'd be eager to see the kills that they racked up in this battle. So I have a little rank of Breland militia. Looks like they're going to commit themselves. Here comes the last charge of the Dunedain. And we actually broke this unit, so we're starting to turn the tide a bit on this front, finally seizing territory back. However, here comes the heavy Orthanc spearmen, and no matter how many arrows I shoot into these guys, it's going to take a lot to knock them out. Not to mention that you have more units starting to move up in reserve. And let's take a look on those. Yeah, actually looks like we've been able to hold our own. Victory does still seem certain, but at least I've kept these guys away from the main fight, the main piece of action. And this is honorable for these Greenway guards. If they had all survived, I mean, they will be remembered in legends, that's for sure. Unless, of course, all legends and traces of humanity are wiped out by the orcs and the Urukai. 2 men retreating to the central plaza, and my last rider goes down. I don't know if we actually have any hobbits left at this point on the battle. I'd be curious to see if we can find any more. Banners, the white hand of Sauron here, being raised in the midst of my lines. It looks like my archers, have now been completely surrounded by these fighting Urukai. They've had enough of my silly, pesky rangers here. And yeah, now we're broken. These heavy Orthanc guys look absolutely beautiful, and they are not to be trifled with. So now the final slaughter is going to ensue. And the Berserkers have joined the fight here. Going to be essential for cleaning up what's left of my guys.
Our enemy has command of the city.
Oh, and there he goes, going to finish my dude off while on the ground. This is so brutal. So there you have it, folks. You saw my attempted defense of the Shire, but we didn't have any of our heroes here. And the Shire, despite putting up a brave resistance, was doomed. And the devastation and gloom of the Scouring that you see here is just in such stark contrast with the beauty of the Shire. And I do have to say, this map is absolutely gorgeous. It's so cool. So yeah, like I said, leave your recommendations for what battles you'd like to see in the future. There's a lot more maps to share, a lot more confrontations to try and set up. And yeah, I'm definitely loving this mod. I don't know why I haven't covered it before, but this is definitely going to be super exciting stuff to cover. Anyways, we should be wrapping this up fairly soon. I can't imagine I have anyone left. Unless we have some brave souls still fighting somewhere. Ooh, I saw an arrow. This is... Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Hobbit standing. He's just sitting there, plucking away at the enemy forces. Looks like It's going to be finished off by Indie Bride's Berserkers here. We're going to take one look at this measly little hobbit and just finish him off. Tripping him, and then finishing up with a bashing right to the face. Brutal way to go. Here comes the last banner of the free men. Ooh, a couple more men actually have come back to join the fight. It's not, well, I was about to say it's not quite over, but you know what I mean. It's not quite over in the sense that it's only time until our guys get killed with those berserkers charging in. Yeah, for sure.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
Yeah, so here comes the surround, and I think for this game was definitely really fun. I think the thing that did me in was definitely that snow orc charge here that just totally disrupted my formation and allowed, you know, gave cover to the rest of his forces to start moving up and just pepper my ranks with a bunch of fire. The massive swarm of troops up through here. I was able to fight it back, but they did good work, and I think those warg riders getting, I shouldn't have committed my general unsupported right away, but damn, that was a fun battle. Definitely enjoyed it, and yeah, here you can see the total amounts of men deployed. I had 1,800. My opponents definitely had a fair amount more than that, and yeah, I definitely killed a lot more than the opponents combined. So fun battle. I did my best to hold out, but alas, the Shire has fallen. I want to take a look at some of the kills. Yep. Mounted, battle ready, Dunedain. My heavy cav, you know, paying for themselves. 358 kills, 159 with my rangers. Those are the guys who are constantly shooting. Be curious to see. Yeah, Dunedain definitely doing well. I want to see how my Hobbitry and Arms did. 38 and 13, so not doing so well. But I definitely have to give it to the Hobbit archers. Huh? Only 35 kills. That's surprising. They stood out. Well, I mean, they did a huge delaying action against the entire army of Isengard on that flank. So they are definitely to be commended. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a brutal fight, but nonetheless very, very fun. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.